Well, hello everybody and welcome to another video tutorial. My name is Peter Drakulits and I'm sure, most probable than not, you have heard about the C programming language which has been developed by Dennis Ritchie Kernighan, and it is one of the most of the main languages every programmer should really learn and know how to type. And it is the predecessor of many other important languages such as C#, Java, and C++. And by the way, C++ is a superset of C, okay, with classes and some added added functionality. So C programming language is a compiled programming language, meaning that it needs for a C program to run, for a C source code first to run, we need to have first a compiler installed, and we need to compile first our source code into what we call object code or machine code, a code that every computer can understand. A C program is in its source code version, it's nothing more than a text file with instructions that the compiler can understand, all right, and translate into a machine code. So in order to type a C program, we need to have first a text editor, and for this tutorial I'm going to be using the Notepad text editor. Of course, if you are using another operating system, just go ahead and use the text editor that comes shipped with the with your operating system. And we don't want, of course, to use a word processor. We just want to use a plain text editor. Now, we type our C program source code, and then we need to compile it. So we need also a compiler. A compiler is a separate program that actually translates the source code into machine code that the computer can understand, and so it can run the program. And a compiler has also a program, another program that is called linker, that is linking the different external libraries, okay, that C code needs for carrying out specific tasks, and link them together into a compiled executable, as we call it, all right, which is the program that we want to actually our computer to run. So let's go ahead and type a simple C program. For this tutorial, I want to say I'm using the GNU GCC compiler, and you can find it very easily for free if you just search. All right, and but of course there are many other compilers you might want to use or you have available, and of course in some future tutorials, hopefully we are going to be presenting some more advanced text editors, perhaps, or IDEs, as we call them, meaning integrated development environments and things like that. But for this tutorial, we want to keep it simple and see what we can do with the bare minimum, with just the text editor and the GNU GCC compiler. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be typing here in my notepad a very simple C program. At the same time, while typing, I'm going to be explaining what I'm typing. Any C program starts with what we call preprocessor directives, and preprocessor directives are a certain set of instructions that are always on top of any C program, and they perform certain tasks. For this tutorial, we are going to using the include preprocessor directive, which is a very special type of preprocessor directive used for importing the various external libraries, various modules, if you prefer, of C programming language that come shipped with a compiler, and that the C programming language needs those modules, those external libraries, for carrying out certain tasks. So first we type in hash symbol, which is the symbol with which we start adding the preprocessor directives, the keyword include, which stands for the certain type of preprocessor directive we want to add, and then less than symbol, and we are typing something like std io.h, and then we close this preprocessor directive with the greater than symbol. Well, so hash is the symbol for starting adding the preprocessor directive. Include is the keyword for the include preprocessor directive, which actually adds to the program and tells the compiler and the linker to use the this module here of Python, which is called stdio.h. stdio stands for standard input output. So it's the program, it's the module or the library that has the functions needed for inputting and outputting data. And then we have this .h extension, which stands for header, and header is the name or the type rather of this kind of library here. All right. Okay. So after we type this, enter, and I'm typing in int main opening parent void closing parent, and I'm opening a curly brace and then I'm closing the curly brace. Now what this is a statement, this is a function, to be more accurate. So this function here is something that you want to start any C program with, and any C program has what we call a main function. It can have many more functions, and it can be consisted of many different functions, but it must have exactly one main function. And this main function, what this does is that tells compiler that from this point, from now on, I mean, a C program starts. So this defines the wrapper, if you prefer, of the entire C program. All right. So simply put, you need to have this in every simple C program you type. All right. So the name of the function is main, and the type of the function is integer. Integer is just another data type, such as it could be an integer, meaning a whole number, a real number like float, doubles, and things like that. A string, meaning a string of characters and things like that. So the type for main function, for the main function, is int, meaning integer. Now these parentheses here are what we call the arguments or the parameters of the main function, and they are enclosed inside those parentheses. In our case, we don't want a certain type for this main function, or better, we want for it to have a type of argument of type void. All right. So that's another special keyword for C programming language. And simply put, you want to have this line typed every time you start a C program, and then this space here inside the curly braces is where, I mean, starting from here, ending here, is where our actual code is going to be put inside, placed inside. Anyways, now here we type our code, and then just before the closing curly brace, we want to add the return statement with a value of 0. Now this is a C programming language statement, and the statement has the keyword return, and we want for our function main to return to the program a value of data type integer. So if this value is this one here, then we know that the main function has been successfully, compiled without any bugs and things like that. So we can actually run the program. Simply put, this is the bare minimum you need to have in order to start typing any C program. Now let's press enter, and this space here is the body of the function main. All right, so we can start typing our actual code. The first line of code we are going to be typing is this one now here. So let's press tab to indent a little bit to this our code here, and let's type printf opening parent hi and welcome. Welcome, closing quotes, closing parent, and semicolon. Now this is the first actual line of code we're typing in C program, programming language. And this is a statement, of course, and this semicolon here, we're going to be adding all the time semicolons at the end of the statements. This signifies the end of the statement. Any statement must end with a semicolon. All right. Without this, we're going to have some bugs. It's going to be an error for the compiler. So just have this in mind. Always place a semicolon at the end of your statement. And this is line here. This is the statement itself. It is a function that we have called from this standard input-output header, and we want from this function, what we want for this function to do is to print or output a string, which is this argument inside the parentheses. So we need to have the formatted. That's what this F stands for, print formatted. We want this function to output on the screen or any other output device the hi and welcome string literal. Here we have placed, we have put inside the parentheses here. So this is a function, and any function has this kind of syntax. It has those opening closing parentheses, and perhaps inside those parentheses some parameters, as we call them, has been passed in. All right. So that's very simple line, very simple statement is our actual code. All right. Now we want to start compiling this program. For this purpose, for compiling our program, I'm going to be using the GCC GNU compiler, as I told you before. So I'm bringing up the command line or shell, command shell in Windows. Of course, if you are using another operating system, the terminal. And now, first of all, I want to create a directory. So inside where I can save my C source code. So first I'm changing directory. So I'm typing CD to change directory and head over to the desktop / and learning, and let me go here. So I'm inside here. Now if I press dir and this command lists the contents of the learning directory, you can see that I have 0 files here. So let's go ahead and create a file here. So the command for creating a file in the command prompt, using the command prompt, is mdir or md for short. So md, I want to type in the name of the file. So let's name it learning C. Enter. So now if I pressed dir or dir, you can see that now a new file called learning C has been added to inside my learning directory. So this is another actually not file, a new directory, I mean. All right, so inside this new directory, so cd change directory learning C, I want to save my program here. Okay, so I'm going to my notepad here, file, save as or save, and I'm heading over to my learning C directory, and I want to save my file. This is the important thing, with the .c extension. So symbol C program, okay, .c extension, that's very important. Okay, we need to have this extension so the compiler knows where to find this C source code. So enter to save. So now if I bring my command prompt back and press dir, okay, so now you can see the symbol C program.c file is inside my learning C folder. So now I want to compile this one, and the way for compiling any C program is by calling the compiler, and I'm doing so in this case for the GCC compiler by typing in GCC and then the name of the file, symbol C program. Of course, this is not case sensitive, it's okay, and .c, if you don't add the extension, it's okay, but alright. So now our compiler has been started compiling the program. If everything goes right, goes okay, you are going to see this this line underneath, and then if I press dir to list the contents of my directory, you can see that I have here the symbol C program.c. Well, it has been compiled into this one, a.exe. Well, this happened because by default the C compiler, the GCC compiler, names every compiled C source code as gives it a name of a.exe. If you want it, let's say, to give it another name, then you will have to type another command. Let's do this. GCC symbol C program .c -o symbol C program. Alright, now as you can see, if I press dir, I have yet another executable here, which is the symbol C program.exe. Alright, meaning that those two, the a.exe and this are the same, but in this case the compiler has compiled and saved this exe output, this exe with the name symbol C program.exe. Now I want to run this symbol program.exe. So in order to do so, I want to and type in symbol C program, and you can see here I'm typing in the name of the exe, and the DOS window here types hi and welcome. This is our function here, actually. Alright, so this is the printf function over here. So our program worked just fine, and it has output the hi and welcome string, character string on the screen. So that's how you can compile and save your C programs using just the Notepad or Terminal or Notepad, things like that, and the GCC GNU GCC compiler. Alright, so that's the bare minimum you can code with in C programming language. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something from this. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe. See you next time with more C programs and perhaps some other programming language as well. Until then, have fun and good. Bye.